In a valley where mist clung to the hillsides like memory, there lived a weaver named Mira. Her cottage sat at the edge of the village, small and drafty, with a thatched roof that leaked during heavy rains. Her loom stood by a single window where morning light fell in golden slants. Mira's hands were steady, her eyes sharp, and she wove for the villagers, blankets for newborns, shawls for the elderly, curtains that made rooms feel alive. But Mira had grown restless. The work was slow. Thread by thread, row by row, cloth emerged so gradually it felt invisible. She could weave from dawn until her back ached and still finish no more than a hand's length. She watched merchants pass with carts of bright silks sold in minutes. She saw bread rise and bake while her needle barely advanced. Even children seemed to grow faster than her work. "Why," she whispered one rainy evening, "should I spend weeks on what others finish in days?" One autumn morning, a traveling merchant stopped at her door. He wore rings on every finger and smiled like a man certain of profit. "I need 10 blankets," he said, setting down a bag that clinked with coin. "Fine work, but I need them in 3 weeks." Mira's heart quickened. 10 blankets would take her 3 months, 4 if she allowed herself to rest. Yet the bag of coins sat between them like a promise. Enough to buy dyed wool from the southern traders, enough to mend her leaking roof before winter, enough to rest her aching hands for a season, enough to prove she was more than steady fingers in a forgotten corner of the valley. The word came before she could stop it. "I'll do it." When the door closed, silence filled the room. She began at once, her hands moving with a rhythm learned from her grandmother. By evening, she had finished only a narrow strip. The numbers did not lie. She would never finish in time. That night, a thought returned again and again. What if I loosened the weave? Fewer threads, wider gaps. No one would notice unless they held it to the light. The next morning, fog pressed against the window as she adjusted the loom. She told herself it was practical. The shuttle flew faster now, the threads slipping through with ease. By nightfall, she had woven more than ever before. She worked late into the night, her shadow huge on the wall, the blankets piling up, thin, light, finished. On the 20th day, she completed the 10th blanket. Before dawn, she lit a candle and held one blanket to the window. Light poured through it. She could see the mountains, the bare branches of the oak, the fading stars. It was a blanket only in name, warmth promised but not kept. She thought of the old woman who had once wept when wrapped in Mira's work, of the young mother who trusted her blankets to guard a newborn's sleep. These would not hold anyone. They would not protect. They were hollow. When the merchant arrived, Mira met him empty-handed. "I cannot give you what I promised," she said, returning the untouched coins. He took them and left without a word. The silence afterward was heavy, but clean. Mira returned to her loom. She cut apart the false blankets and began again, threading carefully the way she had been taught. The work was slow. Winter came. She finished 2 blankets, thick, tight, made to last. She sold one and gave the other away. Years passed. Mira never grew rich, but people traveled far for her work, saying her blankets carried a warmth that endured. And on quiet mornings, with mist on the hills and light at her window, Mira wove patiently, knowing some things cannot be rushed. What we build quickly, we carry lightly. What we build with care, we carry forever. The fastest thread breaks first. The patient thread holds the world together.